Hey everyone, Carl's here from The Difficult Truth. Welcome to our weekly podcast where we talk about different topics that happen during the week. As the government enters its third week of the shutdown, numerous employees are now experiencing their first pay period without a paycheck. Protests are now happening across the nation. Trump is still mulling over emergency powers to force funding for the wall, which of course is authoritarian, as authoritarian as can be. There should be no reason why a national emergency needs to be declared where there's no crisis. There's absolutely no crisis. No one's coming for your kids. No one's coming to kill you. The brown people from Mexico are just here to work. That's all. Now, he claims that this is to make America safer, but all this is doing is making America less safe, as numerous TSA employees are staging, calling out sick, and now the Coast Guard is also being affected by the government shutdown. They're not getting the funding that they need. It's disrupting their operations. The FBI is being disrupted as well. Their investigations are being slowed. So this is making America less safe, not more. So I don't know what his claims are, that he's trying to make America safe by making it less safe. Anyways, also, I don't know if he quite understands this, but in order for them to even construct this stupid wall, there's going to be some eminent domain, and a lot of these Texans are not going to have it. So good luck with that. I mean, there's just so many things like wrong with this picture that it's ridiculous. I don't know why he continues to throw his temper tantrum. Look, the Democrats have already put on the table that they are willing to give $1.3 billion for border security. We do not need a wall. I was talking with my colleagues at work, and he couldn't have put it in a better way. This is just an ego monument. This is literally his ego incarnate. When people look at that wall, they're gonna think Trump did this, and that's really what he wants. And I completely agree with that. I mean, there's just no reason. Look, the facts are there is no crisis. There is a net outflow to Mexico, not inflow. Illegal immigration, most of it is just overstayed visas, not through crossing the border. So where's the national emergency? Immigrants commit less crime than American nationals, so where is the crisis? There's no reason why there was a necessity to go on national television for 8 or 9 minutes, rant on a bunch of lies. Fox News, Fox News' Shepard Smith actually fact-checked this. So, I mean, when Fox News has to fact-check the president, because you know that's like his propaganda arm, basically. When Fox News gets on and facts-check the president, you know there's something friggin' wrong here. So I think that he needs to abandon this, reopen the government, and stop this nonsense. This is the third week already. In fact, Senator Lindsey Graham has already said to just use the emergency powers, which is it's stupid. No, this is not an emergency. If he does use emergency powers, this is going to set a dangerous precedent. We don't need that. This government shutdown has already cost us $3.5 billion, and it's only week 3. Enough is enough. Mr. President, stop acting like a child. Please act like an adult. Please negotiate. The Democrats are the one that's waiting for you to stop your temper tantrums. And remember, when this started, Republicans had control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency. This is on you. And I really don't want to keep talking about it because there's other important things that slip by because Trump is hijacking the airwaves. For example, One of Paul Manafort's lawyers apparently doesn't know how to use Microsoft Word because they were attempting to submit a redacted document to as a response to Mueller's accusations that he was lying, which of course Paul Manafort is a liar by nature. He's a crook, he's a criminal, and he's going to jail for this. Paul Manafort apparently met with a Russian associate, Kilmnik. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And interestingly enough, he was sharing polling data with him. Now, why would the head of Trump's campaign be sharing polling data with a Russian associate if there was no collusion with Russia? This just seems to keep confirming that there was something going on in that 2016 election. And I'm so glad that this came to light, because it just keeps proving, that Trump and his campaign have been involved in some really sketchy things. Of course, I mean, again, this is no surprise to me. I just like to, see this being brought to light as fact, rather than us just keep speculating. Oh, he might have colluded because of this. He might. No. This is definite evidence. And expanding on that, the FBI actually revealed that when Donald Trump fired Comey, they opened an investigation to see if he was working with the Russians, which led him, of course, to unleash a Twitter storm, like the adult that he is. But as soon as this happened, the FBI opened an investigation. I mean, the FBI doesn't do this to do this. You know what I mean? They definitely had some kind of hunch that there's something odd going on. If not, why even open it? Of course, as Robert Mueller finishes his report, we're definitely going to find out what exactly happened. But all this is just more and more concrete evidence that keeps piling up. Senator Tom Udall from New Mexico is proposing a similar bill to the one that's in the House right now, meant to reform voting rights, campaign finance, disclosure, and ethics. It's in the House. It's basically a sister bill. In the House, it's called the For the People Act, which is aptly named. I mean, we do really need campaign finance regulations. We need we need a more clear sense as to who's donating money to these people. Ever since the disastrous Citizens United decision, it's crazy how corporations can be declared as people and be able to donate almost an unlimited amount of money to whoever they want. It's just absurd. We definitely need this. I mean, I seriously doubt that this is going to pass because, Senator Mitch McConnell is not going to have any of this. I doubt it. But it's good to see that the Democrats, both in the House and the Senate, are trying to change this. Now, last but not least, Mayor de Blasio of New York City has launched a kind of a universal health care that plans to cover all of New Yorkers in New York City. It's going to launch in the Bronx, and it will extend into the entire city by 2021. Now, this is the interesting part. It's going to cost about $100 million, and there's going to be virtually no tax increase at first. So this is amazing. It's going to extend coverage to everyone who can't pay for it. And it will also extend coverage to about 300,000 undocumented immigrants. This is basically an expansion of their Metro Plus plan that covers hospital costs for low-income residents. I mean, this is amazing. This is a great win for New York City. Mega props to Mayor de Blasio. This is going to be a testing ground to see if Medicare for All can actually work fiscally, because everyone says that, oh, this is going to be too expensive. Well, we're going to see exactly how New York City does it, and maybe this can set a precedent for future Medicare for All. I hope that every other, I mean, it could extend to the whole state, I hope. and then multiple states can start adopting this. And I didn't even know that New York City was even trying to implement this because of all this like government shutdown nonsense that's going on. It's just like, it's just another thing that slipped through the cracks. There's no reason why anybody in basically the richest country in the world, in the most advanced country in the world, that there should be somebody without healthcare. I mean, the fact that you have to pay is just immoral. I mean, I've talked about this before, but and I'll say it a million times. It's just absolutely immoral that my life, my health, has a dollar amount. Look, we can insure your car, which is, possession. We can even give you a death policy to cover your family if you pass away. You can insure your laptop. You can insure your gear. But your health, I mean, think about it. Your health has a dollar amount. That's just absolutely immoral. The health insurance industry needs to just go away. And if it were to just abolish or disappear tomorrow, we'd all be in a much better country. Nothing is going to happen in terms of like what happens to all the workers. Well, the government's going to need workers that are going to take over the universal healthcare. Well, what about choice? Yeah, you can choose any doctor you want because you can go anywhere. That's the whole point of universal healthcare. It doesn't take away choice, it gives it. You can go wherever you want. And about what happens to all the doctors, are they going to get paid less? Not necessarily. What happens to the price? Is our prices going to go up? No, they're actually going to go down because they're not going to get price gouged by the health insurance companies. So I don't know what really the problem is. I mean, I only see benefits to having a universal healthcare system. I hope that this can extend to the entire state and then extend to other states, and hopefully this will cause a chain reaction where we can see that, hey, Medicare for all really does work. This is going to save us money, not cost us money. I mean, at first, sure, it's going to cost us, X amount of money to cover everybody in the country. We know it's going to be about $34 trillion. But it's going to, it's going to cost us $32 trillion, but it's going to end up saving us about $34 trillion. So we're going to net $2 trillion in doing this. It's like very simple. I think people miss the fact that having people without care is more expensive than having universal health care. All these hospital costs, hospital stays, because if you don't have money, you're just going to show up to the hospital in the ER. And that costs us money. But, I guess Republicans just either miss that or just simply don't care about the people. If you want my opinion, I just think that they don't really care about the people, if you ask me. But yeah, I do think that Medicare for all will work, and hopefully New York City is a testing ground. Well, guys, unfortunately, that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for joining us in this week's podcast. If you like what you see, why don't you hit that subscribe button, ring that little bell so you catch us next week, and make sure you like, subscribe, comment, everything. If you want to keep up with us, make sure you follow us on Facebook. I'll leave the link in the description below, facebook.com/adifficulttruthofficial. You can also follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/adifficulttruth. Again, I'll leave the link in the description. Again, guys, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We can't do this without you. So let's keep up the good work and see you next week.